welcome back to Mind and Money. My name is Val Stratford, a financial planner.
And I'm Sherry, a financial coach, and today we're diving into the world of credit. Val is got one ready to go, and we are going to review it and give our thoughts completely unprompted because I've never heard this before. So let's dive into money Reddit.
Am I the asshole? I, 21-year-old female, am almost beside myself with my parents and how our relationship is. A little background. I am the youngest of 5 kids, and I have always felt like a burden, or like nobody cares when I had life events. Things get boring after the 4th kid, I guess. When I graduated, which was in 2020, my grad party didn't feel the same as my siblings. I'm not sure if it was because my place is 5th kid or because of the pandemic. Anyways, I kept all the cash gifts and my parents deposited the checks in their account since I didn't have one yet. The amount was $2,000. Over these 4 years, I have not seen a penny of it. Instead, they keep borrowing from me $300 for credit cards, $400 to repair things, something in the house. I normally have no problem about money or lending them money since I have no bills. But over the past year or so, they've been borderline threatening me with rent. I live with my 25-year-old brother and sister and our parents. They are planning on charging them too, but it feels a little unfair to be charged way earlier than my siblings were. They've never charged anyone rent before. Admittedly, this wouldn't be much. At first they said $100, but it still feels so unfair to me. This brings me to now. They almost keep dangling rent over my head. They told me if I do more chores, maybe I won't be charged. But I do the chores. My whole life has felt like I was never worth the effort, and now our relationship has this weird monetary strain to it. They said they don't want to spend any more money on trips until they help pay for an upcoming event, but they keep planning them. They take several vacations a year, already have one planned this summer after they said they wouldn't spend any more money. I just don't understand why I haven't seen any of my money in the past 4 years. But I see them going on trips, leaving me to take care of the animals at home because my other siblings won't. I want to talk to them about it, but my mom just kind of shuts me down and makes me feel awful. I know if I do persist and keep talking, it will blow everything up. My parents make good money. They aren't rich, but they can afford several luxuries that they could easily cut out. But time and time again, I've been made feel like these luxuries are more important than me. I need to pay rent. I need to do more chores. I'm not enough, but they'll owe me $3,000 and not bat an eye. I haven't done anything rash, but my mom keeps saying not to make a big deal about money with family. But this feels like a big deal. I just don't know what to do. Am I the asshole?
I mean, she doesn't really say what she wants to happen. It's just like how she's feeling. Why didn't you have a bank account?
It's like 4 years ago, she would have been 17.
I don't know. I just said, anyways, that's irrelevant. But like, I would have asked for that money. Like, as a parent, why are you using a kid's money if you don't really need it? I think actually more of the issue is about the rent, I guess.
Yeah, that power control vibe, not a fan.
Like, family and money is always like I try not to mix family and money, which is very difficult. Like when you're the child and but like you're living in your parents' house, and I don't think it's wrong for parents to charge adult children rent, but it's like it's situational, and we do have a lot of information, but like we don't. I'd love to hear the parents' side of this, which is not possible, but it's just like you rip off the band-aid and you have the conversation. For me, I'm like, red flags, move out, but that's probably not practical in this day and age, but
I think make sure that your bank account isn't under their view.
Yeah, and there's probably nothing you could do. If it's in an account with their name, like there's nothing you can do to get that money out. By the sounds of it, it could be possible that that money's almost all gone anyways, but just like make sure any money that you have access to is in your own account now, and just like start stacking up cash with anything that you have. If you don't have a job, get a job so you can start to have income, because I think getting away from a situation that feels a little like, I don't know if toxic's the right word, but it's definitely not a healthy family situation when they're like holding those things over your head to be like, if you don't do this, we're going to charge rent.
Yeah.
And I wonder how her siblings feel. I wonder if she's ever talked to her siblings about how they feel, because maybe she thinks she's the only one that feels like that, but all of the siblings feel like that. I don't know. It's it's an interesting situation, and there's not a quick and easy solution, because you don't want to burn that bridge and then all of a sudden have a very toxic relationship, and then you don't feel even comfortable living there. You have to move out. And do you have other options with places you can live where you're not paying ridiculous rent prices? And yeah, it's figuring out what's the best path for you moving forward. It's like, do you make a plan to exit an exit strategy, or do you have a hard conversation, or do you do both and have that exit strategy and have that hard conversation with the parents? It's almost like blackmail, kind of like, if you don't do this,
Yes.
I'm going to charge you.
But also, if she feels that unfairness because she's 21 and the sibling's 25, that's maybe not something that you can ever get around. If they're going to charge rent, they're going to charge rent. Yes, it should be fair for all the siblings, but that's not reality always. So for her, she could say, okay, I'll pay rent, but you're starting in debt to me. The $3,000 you owe me is the next 3 years of rent.
Oh, that's a good one. And yeah, just being able to say, like, and we don't know the history of if they charge rent. Does she have a job? Is she able to afford it? Or is that, like, having to pay rent going to then have her trying to figure out how she makes money to pay that rent?
And the rent was, it was $100 a month.
Yeah. Which, like, is very, very reasonable. Like, yes, if I were the parent, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm going to charge this kid this much. This kid, like, these kids are older. They have more stable employment. We don't know, like, the life situations of the siblings, because that's a factor too. And for me, a parent charging an adult child rent isn't necessarily based on the financial situation of the parents. It's more, for me, like, you're an adult. Yes. If you're living here and you're working a full-time job or whatever that looks like, having that fiscal responsibility, because if you weren't living with your parents, you would be paying a good chunk of your income towards rent. Yeah. Or, like, also, like, are the older siblings, are they saving up for a down payment? Or, like, it's all situational, and not knowing a little bit more, it's hard to say. But I would say, like, yeah, it's a situation she should probably make a plan to get the fuck away from.
I don't think she's the asshole. I think she should stop lending her parents money, make a plan B to get out, have a conversation with her siblings, have a conversation with your parents. But it sounds like they're borrowing money from you and then they're going on trips. So I don't know if they're going to start to care.
Yeah. At this point. Yeah, maybe all the siblings feel like that too. Like, they don't give a shit about things. And yeah, why are you borrowing money out of a kid's account? Yeah, I definitely also agree. She's not the asshole. It's just, she might be a little too, like, agreeable with things to not have pushed some of these things before now. Yeah. And also, we're recording from the car because shit happens and this is life. So, hi.
I don't think I have anything to add. I want her to be a little stronger around her money and explore that victim side too, because she has felt her whole life that she essentially wasn't wanted, wasn't enough. Does that come from they have 5 kids, there wasn't enough love? Did the other kids feel that way? Was she a surprise that they truly didn't want, and they kind of like a Cinderella situation?
Yeah, and like it's probably hitting her in other areas of her life too. Like, her parents are probably pushing those boundaries outside of the financial part of it as well.
But then she's giving money to feel like she's enough, because then she's needed and she can help her parents.
Yeah. Stop lending the money. Like, say you're saving up for something specific. Tell them to, just that's all. Just, like, do what you feel is right. And if there's situations that don't feel right, face them head on, even though it's scary. It's so scary.
It's super scary, but don't let them guilt you and make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You're enough.
Yeah, so be strong, have those tough conversations. You're not the asshole, but you shouldn't be the doormat anymore either.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time on the Mind and Money Podcast.